Welcome back to the workshop, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today. Walter here at the workbench. Today's topic is on the most underrated tool in the workshop. That's right, pencils. Our pencils are our preliminary layout tools. Okay? Those are the tools that they have got to be the most disrespected tool in the workshop. We throw them around, we leave them here and there, never can find them, we stick them on our ear, they fall off the ladder, land in a corner of the field somewhere, or they get stuck in concrete, or we just treat them bad. So, I thought I would discuss pencils a little bit. Not much, real quick one. For years, my go-to pencil, see right there, see in my apron pocket? My go-to pencil is the Ticonderoga number 2. Also known as a soft lead, sometimes known as HB, but that's been my pencil for decades. Why, you might ask? Well, could be because that's what I grew up with. Could be because that's all I ever had on hand. But I remember a while back reading an article about pencils for the workshop. And they tested a variety of brands and makes and hardnesses. And they came back and said the Ticonderoga overall cost, line quality, hardness, durability was the best pencil. Now, are they correct? I'll tell you what, the best pencil is the one you have and the one you keep sharp. So, how you sharpen your pencil, that's up to you. I keep sharpeners handy. I like a very uniform pencil sharpening. I'm a draftsman by trade, so I'm used to that. So I got to thinking, with the way the world is, we've got pencils coming into this country, I'm in the United States, from all around the world. Some are expensive, some are cheap, some are good, some are not. So I figured, you know what, do we have a pencil manufacturer, a small mom and pop type business here in the United States that perhaps we could get a good quality carpenter's pencil, and who knows, maybe even I can order them up once I test them out with dusty Splinters stamped on them, and you guys can buy them from me. I don't know. Help support the channel. So, the Ticonderoga. Quickly, how to use a pencil in woodworking. Very quickly. If you're doing a quick layout and you need to mark a section that has to be discarded, you lay the pencil down and you can make any sort of a pencil mark you want, that has to go. Cross hatch, okay? You're not using the point, you're using the side of the lead, so you're getting a wider line, okay? You're going like that, almost like shading. So that's one way you use your pencil. You do not, unless you need it for some reason, generally you do not use your layout pencil vertically on wood. You don't even do it that way on paper. You need to be down on the side, however you like to hold it, and it's comfortable for you. So sometimes I'll use it this way. A lot of times I'm using it this way. So if I'm marking a line, I will hold it up against my square and I will twist the pencil across. What I mean by twist is I'm rolling it between my fingers. And what that does, it keeps the point pointy because you're wearing the graphite evenly all the way around the pencil. So that's how you keep a nice even line. That's a trick from being a draftsman. Okay, we had all sorts of special sharpeners, but you still wanted to keep it as sharp as possible through an extended line. And sometimes our lines were 4 foot wide as the drafting table. So that's the Ticonderoga. Now, it looks like this is what they would call their school pencil. They're calling it their semi-hex, and it's their 498-2. So it is a number 2. They call it soft, they call it HB. So depending on what designation you want, those are the things you need to look for on your pencils. Is it an HB? Is it a number 2? Or is there a word soft? Okay? Now I wouldn't call a number 2 really soft, but that's what they're all calling it. So let's see how this one works. Once again, spinning the pencil, it feels a lot like the Ticonderoga. And it looks a lot like the Ticonderoga. So, that's that one. This one is a number 555. They call it their layout, and they call it extra black. And I have some hopes and aspirations for this one, because for those of us who are more visually challenged than others, you need some layout lines sometimes that are wider. This has a thicker lead, and no, they're not made of lead. They are made of a carbon black and clay mixture that they bake. You can go to General Pencil's website and you can get links to the videos on how they make their pencils. So that's pretty interesting. And if I lay it on its side, I can get, I could write really wide with that so I can see something I want to remember. This is their 333 Cedar Point HB. So that's similar to the Ticonderoga. Remember, these are all made in America. Okay, that seemed to work the same way. And this is the 333-1. And I have to look up on their website, but I think this one might be just ever so slightly harder than that one. And it might be. So here's what I'm talking about. The lines from the Ticonderoga and some of the scribbles. Then the general, well, let's just call it the schoolhouse one, the yellow one, the number 2. And then the extra black layout. I like that. I really like that for layout, not for lines you're actually cutting to, but for layout. And then these other two are very close to one another. This one, the 333-1, a little bit harder than the HB. So we're going to leave these on the bench, and we're going to use them. And I'll report back on how they behave. But that's about it. I mean, if you have a pencil that you've been using for years, now I'm not talking mechanical pencils. There's a whole world of mechanical pencils, and I probably, because being a draftsman, I should be using them, but this is what I've always used in my carpenter shop. So if you have a pencil that you like and have used for decades, and it's a different brand, leave me a message in the comment section. And if you've got any other questions on any other tools that we might be disrespecting or not talking about in the workshop, also write those notes in the comments section. I welcome your questions. I appreciate you visiting with me here today, and I hope that you get a chance to go out to your shop and go make some shavings today. But don't forget, you got to do your layout first. Hey, listen, Subscribe if this was helpful to you, and give it the old thumbs up. Which way do you want to do that? Thumbs up? That way? And I look forward to having you come visit again. Hey, this is Walter. Out.